Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the newest collection from Cirque Colors. This is the Cirque-Us collection. These are 6 new shimmer graphic finish polishes. So I will link the Cirque Colors website down below where you guys can check these out because they are available right now. I also have a coupon/affiliate code with Cirque Colors, which will be on the screen and in the description box. There will also be comparisons after the swatches, so 6 polishes altogether, and let's get into it. So these are the boxes that the standard Cirque Colors polishes come in. Occasionally there will be special edition boxes that will look different, but this collection comes in the standard ones. The first polish is called Marionette, and this is described as a pastel pink shimmer graphic with magenta, pink to red to orange color shifting aurora shimmer and a scattered holographic. Sheer, but great formula, tons of sparkle and shimmer, and that red shimmer, that shifting shimmer, stands out really, really nicely on the first coat. This actually built really well on the second coat. I stopped here. I could see a little bit of nail line, but I decided after a lot of debate that this was good enough for me. So 2 or 3, just depending on your application, but that is 2 coats of Marionette. This was as opaque in 2 coats as a lot of other polishes in the collection are in 3. The next polish is called Stunt Queen, and this is described as a light turquoise shimmer graphic with orange to green to gold color shifting aurora shimmer and a scattered holographic. Also sheer on the first coat, but again, lots of sparkle, and that contrasting shimmer stands out really, really nicely as well. And while this is sheer, it is very even. This covered well on the second coat, but it was a little bit more sheer than the last one, and I also think I might have done a slightly thinner coat, which is definitely a factor, but I still needed a third. And this one covered pretty well for me on the third coat with just a little bit of nail line showing, and once it built up fully in 3 coats, that shimmer stood out even better. So that is 3 coats of Stunt Queen. The next polish is called Limelight, and this is described as a lime green shimmer graphic with blue to violet color shifting aurora shimmer and a scattered holographic. Good formula on this one, very even, lots of sparkle and shimmer, also pretty sheer on the first coat. This one starts to build pretty nicely on the second coat. That lime green base color is building up better. I do feel like it looked slightly less even once I got 2 coats on it than it did with 1 coat. Everything built up nicely, evened out for the most part in 3 coats. I feel like if I looked really closely, I could still see some uneven spots, but it was very minor. And then also that little bit of visible nail line showing. So that is 3 coats of Limelight. The next polish is called Showgirl, and this is described as a deep periwinkle blue shimmer graphic with pink to green to gold color shifting aurora shimmer and a scattered holographic. This was sheer on the first coat, like the others. Good formula, very even, and fantastic shimmer. Again, I love a red-pink contrasting shimmer against a cooler tone base color, if that makes sense. This built really nicely in 2 coats. Still enough nail line showing that I did feel the need to do a third, but I was surprised at how well it built up between 1 and 2. This covered really well for me on 3 coats. Very, very minimal nail line showing. I feel like across the entire video, the nail line shows up a little bit worse on camera than it was in person. So that is 3 coats of Showgirl. The next polish is called Ringleader, and this is described as a red-orange shimmer graphic with magenta, pink, gold, green color shifting aurora shimmer and scattered holographic. A bit sheer on the first coat, but good formula, very even, and all of the elements stand out really nicely, which is about as much as we can ask for. So this one covered really well for me on the second coat. I had no real obvious, discernible, visible nail line, but just overall, I felt like the color on this could be better, so I went ahead and did a third anyway. It did build the color up, like, pretty significantly, but that's just going to be a personal preference thing. I didn't need it to cover the nail line. So that is 3 coats of Ringleader. I also feel like this one looks more red in the bottle and then more pink once it gets on the nail. And the last polish is called Aerial Act, and this is described as a cobalt blue shimmer graphic with green to violet to blue color shifting aurora shimmer and scattered holographic. Great formula here, great coverage, a much darker base than I saw in any of the other polishes in the collection, and more saturated, I guess I should say, on the first coat. And this one built up completely, fully, no uneven spots, no visible nail line at all in 2 coats. So that is 2 coats of Aerial Act. So as I've mentioned many times before, I stick within the same brand for comparisons, but I am always open to suggestions if there's anything else that you want to see stuck together. I will do that in a short, but to start out, just so it's not an overwhelming amount of comparisons to look through, I stick within the same brand. I had no comparisons for Aerial Act, by the way. I didn't have anything this dark to compare in this finish. So starting out with Marionette, that's gonna be this one, this one, this one, and this one. This first one here is Pinkies Up, which is a much deeper, more vibrant pink. It's not nearly as soft as Marionette, and it has a different shimmer to it, slightly different shimmer. I feel like the shimmer in this one is very similar to the base color, where this one contrasts a little bit more. It's got a bit more orange to it. This here is Slow Burn. This has a very similar shimmer, that orangey red, but it's almost like a pearly white in comparison. This one here is True Love's First Kiss, which is a slightly similar base color, but has a lighter, almost silvery blue shimmer to it, so there's no big comparison to be made there either. This one is Hot Gossip, which is much more peachy, even though it does seem to have essentially the same shimmer. And then this one is Coquette, which is very silver in comparison. So for Limelight, which is going to be right here, I have You Tart, which is very similar. I do feel like Limelight is a bit more green. You Tart is leaning a bit more towards that neon yellowy green shade. Not a huge difference there. The shimmer that's in You Tart does set it apart pretty significantly. It adds a very like warm element to it, that again, that orangey gold shimmer, where the shimmer in Limelight is a little bit more of a blue purple, but color-wise they're close. Still, I would not say they're duplicates of each other, even though they are kind of pushing it a little. Moving on to Stunt Queen, which is here. This is Tipsy Turvy. This is a much darker shade of blue with a totally different shimmer. It's very red in Tipsy Turvy and gold in Stunt Queen, so nothing super close there either. And lastly, I have Showgirl, which is going to be here in the middle, which has a really blinding shimmer compared to the other two. This one is Crying Contest. This is a little bit more purple, although it is still kind of dusty and muted. It has a gold shimmer to it, and it doesn't have nearly as much of that scattered holographic, so it doesn't even look like the same finish. And then this one here is Spoonful of Sugar, which leans way more blue, and it does have a slightly pinky purple shimmer to it, where this one has red, so they're similar, but it's not nearly as strong in Showgirl, and not the same color anyway. No duplicates there either. Okay, my battery's gonna die, and I almost forgot this one. So the last one that I have here is Ringleader, which is right here, and then this is Mai Mai, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. This was a charity polish or do good polish from last year. So this is very similar with the shimmergraphic finish. Mai Mai is much darker and deeper of a red, where Ringleader actually comes off a little bit pink. And then there's also this really strong gold shimmer here versus a red shimmer here. This right here, which I'm not going to pronounce again because I just feel like I'm butchering it, is one of my favorite polishes from Cirque Colors in recent years. So it's hard for me to make this comparison. I really wanted this to be similar, even though I don't need two of these, but they are pretty significantly different. So I think Showgirl is going to be my favorite. I really can't help it. I am so drawn to this slightly purple, slightly periwinkle shade mixed with little bits of silver holographic and any kind of like orange or red or gold shimmer. I have so many polishes that look like this, or look similar to this, I should say. I can't help it. I'm always drawn to this kind of polish. So that is the Cirque Colors Cirque-Us collection. Again, those are available right now, so I will link the Cirque Colors website down below. I also have my coupon/affiliate code with Cirque Colors, which will be on the screen and in the description box. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.